Tom Brady meant everything to this team. Last year, when I was on this Tampa Bay team, both the coaches and the players said they were a quarterback away, and they got their guy. They knew they were ready from a defensive standpoint, from an offensive scheme standpoint, from a player belief and mentality standpoint. They just needed one player, and that player's name was Tom Brady.
Here's the deal about Andre Cisco. This dude is the first true freshman DB to start at Syracuse since 1985.
Wow.
I wasn't even born then, right? Like, this dude has been balling. You put the film on, this guy plays a lot like Earl Thomas, right? He's physical, he's downhill, he's instinctive. He has all the pieces you would want.
Mitch Trubisky single-handedly brought that team back in the game. Everybody talks about the great, coveted Bears defense. That defense did not show up.
Call me, call your player rep, get the information and make an informed decision. DeMaurice Smith said, it's a democracy. Of course, big names have big voices, but they only have one vote.
The defense has to understand that the bend but don't break mentality is working to a certain extent. But when you play teams like the Rams, when you play teams like the Saints, right? I've been in games against the Saints and the Rams and the Titans. You have to come prepared.
So you are a fiery competitor. You're a lover of people. You're an unbelievable coach, husband, father, recruiter. What would you say is the thing that makes you different?
Todd Bowles is brilliant. He's a brilliant defensive mind. Number one, he knew not to blitz. They got beat in week 12 because he was playing a lot of single coverage. Well, what Todd Bowles did this game is 80% of the game, he had two safeties high. Why would you have two safeties high? Because you got a guy like Tyreek Hill who can blow by a defense, and a guy like Travis Kelce, you can do the same. We are so much more than just athletes. We are so much more than just people that you just look at and applaud and you boo and you burn their jerseys or you show up and you cheer them. We are fathers, we are husbands, we are brothers, we are sons. And there are so many people in our sphere of influence who we affect. What people don't realize about the Buffalo Bills is that this team has been built to win. They've been building a team to try and take down the longtime division rival New England Patriots for year after year after year. And so you go to their facility, everything you see there, it says playoff caliber. The fact of the matter is this defense isn't playing up to their standards, admittedly. And so before we start passing blame and making Mitch Trubisky the scapegoat, let's look at the defense that's not living up to par. They're not performing as advertised. Yes, Tom Brady is the quarterback, but what's going to be the deciding factor in this team making the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl is Todd Bowles and his defense. You got Devin White, you got Levante David, you've got Vita Vea, you've got Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, JPP. No one is talking about this defense, and that's, I think, what everyone is missing. What was going through my mind during my first spring game, especially the minutes leading up to it, was just the opportunity to compete. So we practice and you practice and you practice, and you just want a chance to be able to showcase your skills. It's hard to get to that $1 million mark. And so there are many players who live paycheck to paycheck. I'm not talking about the $50,000 paycheck or minimum salary guys. I'm talking about guys on the practice squad. I'm talking about guys who maybe made the team. Maybe they got cut 7 times, 8 times, 9 times. Those players are part of the same group that says, hey, I want to play. I want to be on the field.
How do you handle emotion? And what are you hiding? And what are you keeping from everyone else? This book is for somebody who wants to come out of their shell a little bit. My name is Sam Acho. I play linebacker in the NFL. I'm also a speaker and a writer as well, and I'm excited to tell you all about my first book, Let the World See You. This book is birthed out of what it means to be known. I think so many of us, we hide or we pretend. Maybe we're scared of letting the world see us. Maybe we've been hurt before. We live in a world now where it feels like everybody has to be perfect. I carry that weight myself, playing in the NFL and always being the guy who had all the answers. I felt like I had to be perfect. I caught myself never getting angry. So what I started realizing was that as I cried in front of my teammates, as I cried in front of some of our coaches, as I started to just be the real me and just to sit and emote, that's when I started realizing that there was freedom in that. When people see me and when I'm free enough to show the world me, everyone else gets freedom from that. Throughout this book, you'll see stories of times where I let the world see me and the benefit that came from it. We also see times where I didn't and some of the pain and hardship and struggle that came from that. As you read it, you'll be inspired and encouraged to say, you know what, I'm not gonna let things hold me back anymore. I'm actually gonna let the world see me. When you let the world see you, 3 things happen. Number 1, God gets the glory. People around you benefit, and I think the world around you is gonna thrive. If you pick this book up, not only will you cry with me, you'll laugh, you'll emote, but you'll also understand that, man, I think I have a chance to let the world see me as well.